Hey, so welcome everyone. My name is Alyssa Harriman, and I am a registered nutritionist. This past January, I am in my 18th year of teaching nutrition, and my career actually started in the healthcare industry, where I felt really frustrated and overwhelmed by the amount of conditions that I was working with that I felt were preventable. I felt like we could be doing a better job of teaching people how to prevent preventable disease, and that led me into the role of being a nutritionist and running a large nutrition business and teaching at several colleges. My area of expertise is nutritional therapy for people with cancer. In fact, I'm one of two instructors in all of Canada to teach the cancer certification program for instructors all over the world. It's an internationally accredited program. And what I believe, and many natural health practitioners believe, is that our body has an incredible ability to heal, repair, and detoxify and be in an absolute state of health. But it takes focus. It takes the time and energy and understanding. And that's really essentially the whole goal of this program. When we were collectively as a group looking at what can we run this season that's going to add a lot of value for you, what we decided to do was go right back to our roots and teach clean eating. Just plain old simple healthy eating, what that actually looks like, how to incorporate it, and how to get some incredible results by making simple shifts and changes at home. And each week is themed. You'll see the poster inside our 500 Families community. And you can see that each week has a variety of topics. And we also have, as I mentioned, health experts that are going to come in and contribute to the weekly classes and or contribute to the content inside the community. So to tell you just a little bit more about our Healthy Family Wellness community, we also call this 500 Families. Our initial goal was back when this group first started was to help 500 families get started on a healthy lifestyle. That felt like such a big goal. And if you look at our membership, we are over 5,000 families and growing every single day. And I'm just so proud to be a part of this organization and this community that really is focused. And our mission, our goal is to build healthier communities through health education, quality health products, which we believe in whole food-based products inside our community, and by teaching families how to eat cleaner foods how to eat cleaner by growing their own foods. So the goal is that you're going to learn something by being here. You're going to feel more confident in your choices. You're going to have access to premium quality, just really, truly the best products in the world. And you're also going to have that opportunity to grow your own foods and be a part of a community that's doing that. And that's why our group is so popular and why it continues to grow, and part of the mission behind these programs. Because if you were to come into my practice or any of the practitioners inside our community and look for these types of programs, you're looking at hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars, and we gift this to our community. Now, for our product-based customers, so anybody who's using the Juice Plus Complete or the capsules or our Omega, maybe you have a Healthy Starts order where you're getting products in your home for free for one or more of your children. If you've recently purchased a Tower Garden, we actually have a VIP link for you, and that includes the tools to match up with the program. So we've got 4 weeks of meal plans, we got recipe guides, pantry lists, in addition to the 4 weekly classes. Now, you do have to have a currently active order in order to get access to that. What you're going to need to do is go back and connect with the person who invited you to the community or the person that you normally order from and just say, hey, is my order active? They'll let you know, they'll check it for you. And if it is, you're going to get all of these free tools and resources to support you over the next 4 weeks. And tools and resources really just help us have more ideas, give us outlines to follow. They make grocery shopping a lot easier. And it just gives us new recipes to try as well. And we've built that in a link that is on an app called Boards that goes right to your phone or can be on your computer as well. So you can click the link, it'll automatically download it to your phone or your computer. All of the files are organized for you. And each week as we run the class, the new class will also be posted in there as well. And that's because we recognize not everyone's on Facebook all the time or even at all. And we wanted to make sure that everyone had access. Again, you're going to have an active order in order to get the tools, but you don't even have to be a customer to have access to our weekly classes. In fact, I want to encourage you to invite your friends and family to join our community so that they can join in on the learning. The classes are stored inside 500 Families, or the Healthy Family Wellness Community. All right, let's keep going. So what is healthy eating? So let's get our typing fingers ready. Let's go into the chat. If you're watching on Facebook Live, feel free to write it as a comment. If you were to define healthy eating, how would you do that? Like, how would you describe healthy eating? So feel free to go into the chat. We'll see what some of your answers are. I know it's always that like awkward moment as I wait for things to show up here. But I think it's important that we understand what it is. And the reason, and I'll keep chatting as you guys are typing here, the reason that it's important that we understand what healthy eating actually is because there's a lot of fad diets, there's a lot of restrictive programs out there, there's a lot of programs that really aren't beneficial to your health. And we can think that that is the right program for our body, but the reality is it might be too restrictive, or it might create some unhealthy food rules that you're really going to be hard to stick to and make you not feel really great about yourself, right? If you don't stay within those parameters. That's one of the challenges with restrictive programs, is the moment you step outside of it, you don't feel really good about that. And healthy eating really shouldn't look that way. So Kathy says here, 80-20 Mother Nature versus the other stuff. So absolutely, getting 80% of your calories from whole foods, natural stuff, and then making room for those other foods. I like to teach nutritionists, I want you to think of it as this: benefit and consequence, right? So there's foods that are absolutely beneficial to your health, whole foods, these nature foods like Kathy talked about here in her post. And these foods add nutrients, fiber, enzymes, protein, complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, all of the things that our body needs to be in a state of health. Those are beneficial foods. Consequential foods are things like processed foods, foods that have a lot of chemicals or additives, or they lack naturally occurring nutrients because of that processing. And when we put those foods into our body, there's really no benefit. Our body has to recover from those foods. So those are consequential foods. So when we look at our diet, we want to be thinking, is majority of my calories coming from foods that benefit my body, that help me be in an optimal state of health? Or is the majority of my calories coming, the majority of the food I'm consuming coming from foods that have consequence? And then, I can put myself at risk for some preventable diseases if too much of my foods comes from these consequential foods. So benefit or consequence, right? We're going to learn a lot about what are the foods that benefit us. Trina says lots of fruits and veggies, nuts, seeds, water, healthy carbs, protein, fiber, no restricting calories or carbohydrates. I love that. Kate has said whole natural foods. I agree, whole foods. So you guys are totally got it. So here's kind of my description of what it is. And if you got a pen and paper, this is a class. This is like a class that you are here to learn. These are the things that really you want to think about when it comes to healthy eating. Is it clean sourced? Are the foods that you're consuming, are they full of chemicals? Was there processing that was involved in this? Is there food colorings and flavor enhancers and added sugars and sodiums, right? Those are not clean foods. Clean foods are like this picture here. It's whole food. It's natural foods, foods that look the way the earth provided it for us, right? That doesn't mean you have to be plant-based. You can still eat animal protein, but it's like you're looking for natural foods. And that's the second one. Are they natural, right? And the closer to nature, despite maybe cooking them, is the better they are. So for example, apple juice is not good for you unless you freshly press that apple juice yourself. But the commercial apple juice at the grocery store, it's so processed that they actually have to put vitamins back into it in order to legally sell it to you. And it's not healthy, but the apple is. The apple is fiber and enzymes and nutrients and all kinds of stuff that's really going to benefit your body, right? So we want to look at things that are close to nature, that are natural. We also want to look at things that are safe, right? Foods and natural foods are safe for the whole family. And we want to look for foods that are as close to whole as possible. So there's less processing. So these are kind of the criteria. By the way, this is also the criteria that I have when it comes to choosing supplements, which will kind of end today's class with just one slide about what you should be looking for in your supplements. So, healthy eating is a diet that focuses on well sourced, unprocessed whole foods, as many of these attendees have already shared. So, that is really what it is. And at the end of the day, healthy eating is to position your body to be in an optimal state of health, to help you prevent disease, to help you have healthy energy levels, to help you have healthy, balanced hormones, to have good cognitive, good brain function, to just feel good and be disease resilient, right? And the side effect of healthy eating is usually whatever kind of goals you have, whether it's like maybe you just, it's you put on a little weight over winter and you're thinking, oh my gosh, I gotta take it off by summer. The great news is the side effect of healthy eating is usually your body will get rid of what it doesn't need, including toxins, including supporting a healthier immune system so that it is more disease and resistant against viruses and bacteria as well. So healthy eating, it focuses on well-sourced, unprocessed whole foods. And as Kathy nailed it, 80% of our calories should come from whole foods. Now, does this mean we need to count calories? Absolutely not. It's like the last thing I will ever tell you to do, because it's not healthy behavior. There's a reason that carrots and apples and broccoli, and you go to the grocery store and you pick these up, and blueberries, there's a reason they don't have a label, because it doesn't matter. Calories are not all equal, and healthy weight and a healthy body is not a mathematical equation. Okay, it is healthy comes in all shapes and sizes. And really, it's not about counting that, but it's having kind of like that idea that most of the foods that you're consuming are beneficial, nutrient dense foods. So when you think about like what you ate today, you can say, okay, was half of the foods I ate like whole natural foods? Or did I miss my meals and snacks so I didn't get enough of those nutritious foods into my body? Or did I have to like grab something at the coffee shop in the morning? Not, that's a consequential food. And then I had to like grab lunch on the go at a drive-through. And then I ate a candy bar in the afternoon because I was losing steam. And then, we grabbed pizza for dinner, right? That would be the majority of your calories, not all, came from foods that were not necessarily healthy eating foods. They were consequential foods. So it's really just looking at your day and thinking, okay, where do I need to make some improvements? And you can start as simply as with one meal. And we'll talk about meal planning in our class next week. Consideration should be given to how the foods are grown and harvested. And this is really important. And we haven't had an opportunity to really discuss this inside the 500 Families community, but how your foods are grown, the types of foods that you purchase, essentially you are voting for. So every time you purchase something that's harmful to the environment, you are supporting something that is harmful to the environment. And I know we've become as a society very detached from that, but you can start to make little choices that create a better world and a better future for our children and your grandchildren, and just create a better environment. And I think being conscious and aware of the choices that we're making are important. We're going to talk about some of those choices today in a way that can help you eat healthier and save money. And we also, healthy eating is the avoidance of the refined whites. So the white flours, white sugar, white rice, white pasta, white breads, all the whites that we know we're not supposed to eat, because those are just highly processed. They're digested really quickly into refined sugar. They cause these blood sugar spikes, and they really can put us on a blood sugar roller coaster, which increases cravings, can help us to eat more of the wrong foods. So that healthy eating does not include those highly processed foods. And obviously this list could be much larger, but I wanted to keep it good and simple for you guys as we get started in this course. So let's talk about keeping healthy affordable. And if you think healthy eating is expensive, I want you to put a number 1 in the comments. Same for you in Facebook land. If you guys feel like healthy eating feels expensive, put a number 1. And if you are like, yeah, it's not too bad, put a number 2. If you're like, yeah, I do it okay, put a number 2. Maybe you're the people that we should follow. So this concept that healthy eating is more expensive has existed the entire time that I have been a nutritionist. This is not a new concept, although I will say that with rising food costs, the cost for families to eat right now is just astronomical. It's higher than it has ever been post-COVID. And that is challenging. Excuse me, choking on air. That is challenging for a lot of families, because a lot of families don't have a lot of extra income. So when food cost goes up, it really can feel like overwhelming. And there's a lot of processed foods that are very inexpensive. You can get a box of Kraft Dinner for a couple dollars. Excuse me. Oh, I'm not losing my voice. I just inhaled air the wrong way. Okay, so keeping it affordable. So healthy eating is not always more expensive. And there's things that you can do that can actually reduce the cost of your healthy eating. So if you're concerned, here's the good news. It's very easy to reduce the cost of your food and eat better quality food. And I share this from experience. I am an entrepreneurial mom of four. All right. So food costs have always been a thing in our house, and healthy eating has obviously been a thing in our house. So I'm going to teach you tonight some of my tricks to make sure that you feel equipped to make better food choices, but to also feel like you can afford them. All right, so let's keep going. So, healthy eating does not have to cost you more. There are simple strategies to help you eat well without overspending. And what I want to encourage you to do is to think about all the things that you're already doing to try to save money. And this could be like in your home living. Maybe you're packing a lunch versus buying a lunch. Just give yourself some credit for the things that you're doing, because life is expensive. I was on a financial class at the end of 2022. And one of the things the financial planner had shared in this educational class was that it is costing, and I live here in Canada, Canadian families an average of $800 to $1,000 more a month, like at that time last year, to live exactly as they did the year before, with rising fuel costs and rising grocery costs, and of course everything else also costing more money. So most families don't have an additional $12,000 lying around, right? So we understand that there's a lot of pressure. So there might be some things that you're already doing, or maybe you need to start to think about those things and go, okay, I need to be in control of this. What is it that I can do to help make sure my family can affordably eat well, and I'm not feeling stressed about buying good foods for my family? In a separate category, write down the ways you can still save more and eat better. So it's amazing how much hitting a coffee shop every single day can add up. Just add that up. I love Starbucks. I do it like twice a month because my drink is like $7. So if I did that, $7 times 30, I'm going to have a calculator here, I would be spending $210 on one of my specialty drinks a day, a month, right? So another thing that our family used to do was a Friday night takeaway meal. By Friday nights, I was so exhausted. When my kids were really little, I didn't want to cook. I didn't care what my husband brought home. I went to bed at 5 o'clock. He fed the children, whatever it was. We allocated money for that. We stopped doing that when we added our health products in, and I started to have the energy to cook on Friday nights, and that saved us a lot. Packing lunches, doing dinner leftovers for lunches the next day. We're going to talk about that in next week's class, is actually extending a meal and saving the food costs for that meal. Doing a daily smoothie, believe it or not, gets you an enormous amount of nutrition and also saves you money. So let's talk about some ways tonight that you can eat healthier, but also do it affordably. And number one is plan. And if you are planning your family's weekly meals, put a number one in the comments. Let's see how many of you are actually planning out the week. And everyone eats healthier with a game plan. Most people come to a nutritionist because they want us to give them a plan, right? So we've actually done that. As I mentioned, we've got 4 weeks of meal plans for all of you active customers, and anybody who chooses to order within this 4 weeks, you will also get that as well. But a plan actually helps you have more of the right foods at home, and it's also going to save you money because you're just going to shop to the plan. When our family goes shopping and doesn't plan, we can spend $400 easy. When we shop with a plan, we can cut that in half, right? We can save a mortgage payment a month by having a plan. Then shopping, choosing only the foods you need for your week based on your plan, also going to save you money. Like I said, I can cut my weekly grocery bill in half if I have a plan and I shop according to that plan. Preserving. Is anybody in here, who preserves in here? This is a new skill. This was something That was on my bucket list for a very long time. And so that's something that I just started to add in and learn this skill around. And I will just tell you, I am like sharing pictures of my tomatoes that I canned myself last summer that I'm eating in March. Right? So it's pretty awesome. But learning how to store food can help you build a stock. And I've got some tips to help you do that. Buying local, sourcing out good local foods. There's great local farmers all over our North America, all over our world that need your support, that need relationships with people inside the community to keep their farms going and to provide better quality food. So local farmers are a great source of quality food. Then budgeting. Now, very few people that I talk to that come through my practice actually have a food budget. Put a number 5. Do you have a food budget? Do you actually like, this is exactly what we're going to spend? This is how much we allocate every single week. Most families don't, and then they overspend as a result. So having a budget will help you save while also planning. So it's going to help you eat the right foods and not overspend on those foods. Choosing plants, saving money with plant-based meals. We'll talk about that. Buying things on sale, using the flyers, use sales to help you stock up for your weekly plan. Sometimes my husband and I will look at the flyers before we go grocery shopping, and we'll look at what's on sale, and we'll use those sale items to either stock up or to plan our weekly menu around. And next week, I'm going to teach you how to build a meal plan for your week in under 10 minutes every single week. And then cooking in bulk. I don't know how many of you do this. Let's put a number 8. Do you cook in bulk? Anybody in here cook in bulk intentionally? I come from a family where it's like there could be like 5 of us and we cook for 20 because it's just like the way we are. But you intentionally cook in bulk to save foods for later. So bulk cooking saves time and money significantly. So we're going to look at that. And of course, growing your own food, whether you have an outdoor garden or you're growing on a tower garden. I just shared some pictures from today from my tower garden. I literally took those pictures today. You'll see them inside our 500 Families community. And this is food I don't buy. Like, this is food that like I grew outside. I've grown on tower gardens. I preserve it, and I am not having to spend money, and it's saving our family thousands of dollars a year by making this choice. And it's a skill many of us have decided is important to our health and longevity as well, because we can eat better quality food. We can get more nutrition into our body. So heading into planning and shopping, these 2 topics actually are going to be covered in our next class. But it is important to understand that having a plan helps you save considerably on your weekly groceries. As I talked about, it helps you plan for shopping. So you're going to make sure you bring home the right foods. Have you ever gone grocery shopping and then you get home and then you're like, I don't think we have any meals. I just spent $400 and we don't have any meals. And now we're eating out, or we're heading back to the grocery store and it's like $70, $100. And now all of a sudden our grocery bill is completely out of control. Has anybody else done that? You're more likely to eat healthy when you have a game plan in place. Like, this is what's going to keep you on track. So the whole goal in the next 4 weeks is to help you eat better, to help you eat cleaner, to nourish your body more. And you're more likely to do that if you have a plan. Again, we'll talk about. So preserving, this again is my new passion. I have now become a 41-year-old woman who buys preserving books on canning and magazines on canning. I get a little excited. My kids like to roll their eyes because apparently I'm lame, but I think it's pretty cool. And really preserving, there's really a lot of different ways to save and store your food. And learning this, I think, is an essential skill, especially, during COVID, we realized how vulnerable our markets can be, and there was potential rules around who could shop and who could go to restaurants, and there was all of these challenges that came up. There was areas inside Canada, up in Thunder Bay, where they weren't getting access to certain fresh produce because it just wasn't making it to their grocery stores. And the quality over COVID, there was a lot of empty shelves. And I think it just made us realize how vulnerable we really are But the good thing in that is that we actually can have a lot of control, and we can start to become more self-sufficient and more self-sustainable. And when we do these things, we actually contribute to a better community and to a better environment as well. So canning helps you have shelf-stable food year-round. In fact, we have my canning teachers inside our community, and hopefully in the upcoming months, we will get her to teach some online canning classes so that everybody can learn these skills. You can buy a dehydrator. Canadian Tire has them. You can get them on Amazon. They're not hard. And you can dehydrate. If you got carrots on sale, you could like dice them up into small pieces and dehydrate them and put them in a container, like with maybe a little package of like an oxygen absorber. And you've got dehydrated carrots that you can use for months, if not years, to add to soups and stews, or to use in your recipes. Dry storage helps you to buy in bulk and keep it fresh. So getting properly sealed airtight containers and filling those up and buying in bulk, and really just storing your food. My husband and I have dedicated a corner of our basement specifically to our food storage, and we're building benches and tables and shelves and stuff so that year round we will have all of this food, that it's more affordable. We're buying it less often. We can focus on purchasing it while it's on sale, and we've also got good storage. You can also freeze if you have a big deep freeze, or you have a couple fridges. Maybe you got the old beer fridge out in the garage and the freezer's always empty. That would be a great place to also freeze extra servings and to store them as well. And I'll share a little bit more about you. I was reading this comment. Share a little bit more about that as well. So buying local, and I don't know how many of you make an effort to support your local farmers and to head out to the local farmers market, but I am an expert in nutrition, and I am here to tell you that the best quality food you can get is going to come from your local farmers market, especially if you're doing your research and supporting those local farmers. I recently found a gentleman in our community, a farmer who has grass-fed chickens and grass-fed beef, and he's got just worked so incredibly hard. His prices are incredibly reasonable, and the quality of that food is going to be 100 times better than what we're getting commercially. And there's also concerns with the way animals are farmed commercially. We don't eat a lot of animal protein, but when I do, I want to have good quality. Local farmers tend to have significantly better quality food. Sourcing local meats and eggs and whole foods is going to save you money and the environment, and it's going to support your local economy, and keep your local farmers in business, because we don't want big corporations to be our only source of food. We really want to make sure that our nutrition is coming from our local farmers, and that we're making sure that they can stay open and do that. And they absolutely, so local farmers, we just had, I'll answer that question afterwards, Trina, but yeah, that's a great question. Okay, so budget. So setting a monthly budget for food helps you to plan and spend less. Mindless spending in any area of our life results in waste of money. And I can't tell you how many like money classes I've been in, or budgeting classes that I've been in over the years as an entrepreneur and as a mom and a wife. And the moment they make me start to track my spending, I like get hives. It's like my least favorite thing to do, but it's so awakening. It's so eye-opening to see where our money is going, and really to identify what is a priority for our family. So having that budget puts you in control. It's like, if I ignore the foods that I'm eating and I just eat everything that I want, everything that shows up in front of me, maybe at some point I'm going to be unhappy with my results. I might not feel very good. I might not be focusing mostly on beneficial foods. And as a result, my health could suffer because I wasn't aware, I wasn't conscious of what I was doing. And when it comes to healthy eating, and when it comes to doing it on like affordably, a budget is really important because it's going to help you to track your spending, understand how much your family actually needs, and it's just going to put you more in control. You can look for ways to reduce costs, like our family has, by preserving and growing our own foods and planning our menu and shopping the things that are on sale. So take an honest look at what you are spending on food and eating out. You maybe just want to track that area of your life and see what's happening. What is your eating out cost? The cost to go to a restaurant right now is astronomical. And if you are doing that a couple couple times a month, you're probably spending hundreds of dollars. And those hundreds of dollars would be better allocated to buying clean whole foods for your family. Look at where you can create some savings, and look at unhealthy foods you can omit. So start to look at what are the things that we are buying that really aren't beneficial that we're maybe overspending on. So for example, if you're buying juice or soda, or buying a lot of bags of chips or frozen pizzas or frozen dinners, those things, like a teeny tiny little bit maybe, but really the ultimate goal is that you're not going to want to have those foods go into your body. And when you get rid of that, you could right there, just in those items, save yourself $100 or more a month. Look at where you are having to eat out or on the go. So oftentimes families, when I'm in full-time in practice, oftentimes families eat out 3 to 4 times a week, sometimes 5 times a week. And you might think, oh my gosh, that's a lot. But let me give you an example. Friday night takeout, very common. Saturday night dinner out, very common. Might have Sunday dinner at home. Monday night, the kids have got extracurriculars, so now we're grabbing subs. And then Wednesday, we didn't have anything planned. I'm exhausted. The kids are hungry, so we're going to grab a rotisserie chicken and something fast from the grocery store. Now I've just spent an additional $50, right? So all of that 1 week of eating out could easily be $250 here in Canada for the average family. And that's $1,000 a month just for lack of planning and just flying by the seat of your pants. And you're not eating really good quality foods as a result of that. So your health is going to be impacted as well. So choosing plants more often. Plant-based dishes are not only healthier for you because you're focusing on more nutrient-dense foods, but they often cost less to prepare. Many recipes can be cooked in bulk and frozen for future meals. So we love to make rice and bean dishes. It freezes so well and thaws so well, and we'll use them, down the road for on top of salads or in quesadillas, and adding more fresh veggies into that. Plant-based meals focus on whole foods, which are the most nutritious foods for our body. Eliminating animal protein at some meals can save you as much as $20 to $30 a meal. So let's say, perfect world, 5 days a week, you find 5 amazing plant-based dishes that your family loves. And let's average it out between $20 and $25. These are Canadian prices for our US friends, a little more expensive up here. So if we did $25 times 5 days, the $125 a week we would save. If we times that by 4 weeks over a month, that's $500 your family can save by having 5 plant-based meals and saving that $25 on animal protein. I know a lot of us like our animal protein. I have a little bit every now and then too, but most of the foods that we prepare are whole food-based recipes. Eating more plant-based meals is better for our environment. It's better for your body. It's better for your budget. So the goal is start to just find recipes that you like. When our family started to incorporate more plant-based, it was 1 night a week and we would try different recipes until we had some that we absolutely loved. Then it was 2 nights and 3 nights and 4 nights and 5 nights. And maybe once or twice a week, we might have a little bit of animal protein, but we really love our whole food meals. Next is cook in bulk. And this is kind of like, if you've got a crock pot, if you've got a big soup pot, it's not really hard to do. And it's often overlooked because sometimes there can be some prep that goes into this. But the benefit long-term saves you money, saves you time, and helps you eat healthier. So when you cook in bulk, you can freeze family meals or single serving. So when I used to travel a lot pre-COVID, when I would make spaghetti, I would save 2 servings of spaghetti sauce. Here's why. Do you ever put leftovers in the fridge and then like a couple days later, you're throwing out 1 or 2 servings, right? Nobody ate them, didn't get finished up, so now you're dumping it. I looked at that and was like, I'm just going to freeze 2 servings off the top. And then if there's any leftovers, great, whatever, but at least I've got some saved. So I would have spaghetti sauce, chili, turkey soup, chicken soup, stews, rice and beans. So whenever I would make these dishes, I would just freeze 2 servings right away, and I would lay them flat in the freezer like this picture here, and I would label them. And then when I was on the road, my kids, that was our freezer dinner. So my husband didn't have to worry about like cooking whole food meals every night. The kids would literally go down, choose their bag of whatever they wanted, they'd defrost it, warm it up, and then that was their healthy meal. And we didn't have to buy meals when I was on the road because we had them frozen in the freezer. You can freeze sauces and soups. You can pressure can. This I haven't quite gotten into. It's my goal for this year. I've learned how, I just haven't done it. but you can actually get a pressure can or pressure can leftover soups and stews and sauces, which is going to keep it shelf stable. So if you're running out of freezer room, or you want to store something that's more shelf stable in household temperatures, you can do that. And cooked meats. Now you can't water bath can, so you actually have to pressure can anything that's not acidic. Freezer meals are a great way, great when life gets busy. So on those nights you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't have time to think about or prepare foods, or we're in between grocery shops, you have those meals in the freezer that you can pull out. They save money because it's food you've already bought, and you can stay focused on consuming nutritious food. So oftentimes those things taste better after they've sat for a little while anyways. We all know that's true about soups and sauces. So it is just a great way to save money. All right, let's talk about growing your own food. And obviously, we love our tower gardens. This is incredible technology. And it's interesting because I've done some home shows and stuff, and I've talked to people and they're like, what's the difference between these and the ones that you can find online? Because if you go to Amazon, you'll find a whole bunch. Here's the thing. These were developed in partnership between NASA and Disney World as a way to grow food in outer space for astronauts, okay? The technology behind the tonic, which is made entirely of minerals, grows all plants, not just one variety of plants, and it grows it without soil. And in addition to that, you also are getting this human micronutrition that's built into the tonic that these other products don't have. They weren't made in partnership with a space program to build healthy humans in outer space, right? Like that's where our tonic comes from. Also the plastics. So these are UV treated plastics. These plastics are guaranteed not to leach. They're protected. You're not going to have any of that end up inside your water. These other units that we're finding available online, there's no guarantees. There's no treatments. In fact, I saw one and I loved the concept because they were using recycled seed plastic. But then when I thought about it, I'm like, the last thing I want to do is grow food in recycled seed plastic that's literally leaching chemicals into my food and is going to end up inside of me. I do not want that. So there is technology out there, but it's not at the level of the tower gardens. And tower gardens are incredibly affordable because they actually pay for themselves in food supply. When I first bought my tower garden 10 years ago, I was saving between $30 and $50 a week. This is 10 years, a decade ago, right? And that's, $120 to $200 a month over 10 years. So let's do 150 times, so a month times 12, and then let's times that by 10 years, that's $18,000. It's paid for itself a few times. Tower gardens can also be done over installments. So families can grow their own food, and the food cost savings actually pays for their tower garden. I am eating 1 to 2 salads a day off of my tower. I am probably, based on the cost of salads and the quality of them at the grocery store, I'm easily saving $20 to $30 a day right now on food costs. And I'm eating food that's grown without chemicals, that's incredibly nutrient dense. It didn't travel far distances and lose nutritional value as it was traveling. It's fresh, it's vine ripened, and it is saving our family so much money on healthy eating. So it saves hundreds of dollars every month. It helps you and your family be more sustainable, and you're self-sufficient as well, right? Like during COVID, there was a lot of things our family didn't have to worry about getting at the grocery store. And because we had that food growing live, it reduces the chemicals on your food. So you're now eating more nutrient dense foods that have less chemicals, less consequence, right? Significantly more nutritious. And it's peace of mind when it comes to healthy eating. So right now in Canada, I'm not sure what it is for US shipping. I think you guys are a little bit faster, but we're about a 2-week wait to get your tower garden. This time last year, we were a 6 to 8 week wait. Not that people weren't getting them. It was just that's how many were being ordered. So I want to encourage you, if this is something you've been considering, you will not regret it. If you grow on it, it's going to pay for itself, and your family is going to benefit immensely. So if you are tower gardening, please just share like 1 or 2 reasons why you like your tower. Don't just leave me. Check out the comments in the Facebook group and on our Zoom tonight. Just quickly share why that is important. So as we kind of wrap up tonight's session, I want to talk about supplements. And we have used and are aligned with the Juice Plus products because they're just really unique products. Our nutrition needs to come from food. It's the most bioavailable source of nutrients for our body because our body knows what to do with the nutrition found in food. When we get into isolated vitamins and minerals and multivitamin supplements, you are looking at products that are made with chemicals because they use chemical formulations that are molecularly similar to naturally occurring nutrients, which they can't manufacture in a lab. It only exists in nature. And these products use concentrated whole foods. So these nutrients are significantly more recognized and utilized by your body. And there's some good clinical evidence with these products that shows that there's positive outcomes on human health with people who use concentrated whole foods as supplements. We got plant-based shakes, we got fruit and vegetable concentrates in capsules and in vegan chews for children. And we also have a plant-based omega, which is the best omega on the market. It's cleanest source. So people will often say, well, if I eat a clean diet, do I need to supplement? And ultimately, here's the thing. We can't out-supplement a bad diet. We really want you to eat clean. However, most of us have gaps in our diet, whether we're busy lifestyles, a little bit of extra stress, maybe we've caught a few colds or flus and our body's got to recover. Maybe we've got some detoxification. I eat clean most of the time. However, I still have gaps. I still need an extra nutritional boost, and that's where supplements come in. Having a clean whole food shake, that's going to give my body a boost of nutrients. It's going to help keep me protected. Taking my fruit and vegetable concentrates. I don't eat a huge variety of foods every single day. I eat a lot of foods, but not necessarily a massive variety. I'm going to get 30 powdered concentrated whole foods in my bloodstream. And I need those essential fatty acids. Omegas are called essential fatty acids because we have to obtain them from the diet. And every single cell in your body needs them in order to function optimally. So I want you to think of your products, these products as filling nutritional gaps. Juice Plus is clean, concentrated, whole food-based nutrition that fills gaps in your diet. And when we are too busy to eat well, we need a natural gap filler. So for busy families, this is a no-brainer. But even if you eat well, it's still the next level of nutrition for you. You're still making sure that there's no gaps. And when you're under stress, you actually need more nutrients. Your nutrient requirement goes up. Now, the quality of your products matter. When it comes to choosing products, you want products that are not made in a lab. The goal is natural and bioavailable for your body and for your children as well. Our products are made of food, and it's nutrition that your body recognizes. The other thing, as I already mentioned, is these products are proven. Most of us will take nutritional supplements for the rest of our lives. Most of us understand that our diet is not going to be perfect 100% of the time, and we're going to make that investment. Most of you who are inside this community are either currently investing or have invested, right? Because it's important. We understand that there is a need based on our current world. And it is important to look for products that have proven benefits. There is not a supplement brand in the market that is proven as Juice Plus is. In fact, it is the most thoroughly researched and clinically published health product line in the world. And that is why practitioners like myself, I'm an expert in my field, and I have been using these products for 10 years with my family because of that research and that clinical evidence that proves that my investment is going to be a smart investment because it's going to have a positive outcome on the health and wellness of my family. So as I mentioned, our goal is to build healthier communities through health education, quality health products, and by teaching families how to eat cleaner by growing their own food. And this 4-week class series is going to help you do all of those things. And we're going to talk about a lot of different topics in the next couple of weeks. So I hope to see you next Tuesday night. And for those of you who were contemplating, well, where would I put my tower garden? I wanted to give you a good example. All right. So as you can see, it fits beautifully in most decor. But I want to just thank you for being a part of our community. I want to encourage you to invite your friends and family in. They're going to get access to this class. They'll get access to future classes. And at the end of the day, we just want to help people live in healthier bodies. That is our goal. That is why we're here doing this work. And I am just so grateful that you are part of it. For those of you in Zoom, if you want to hang around, thank you so much for being a great class tonight. Lots of chat happening. I'm going to go through that chat, make sure that all of your questions get answered. For those of you in Facebook world, thank you so much. We will see you soon, and continue to comment and share.